What do you think about all the political bullshit that's going on, man?
What part of it?
Well, first thing you got a war going on right now, right? You got a
Yeah,
war
more
in
than one
Gaza.
war going on.
You got a war between Israel and Hamas. You got a war between Russia and Ukraine, and then there's a war of information that's going on in this war right now. It's just pretty nuts.
Well, I mean, it's always been going on. It's just coming to a head now.
Yeah, I mean that's true. The whole war of misinformation. It's been going around for a long time. I mean, shit, before our days. I mean.
But I mean, politically, it's technology and information are growing so fast, can be shared by so many people right now that you can't control it.
Right.
So you got a bunch of control freaks that want to, rein it in or use it to our disadvantage.
And there's a lot of that, right? So and that's one of the things.
That's really the battle going on right now. The whole world's about to change and change drastically. Do we want to change it for good or bad? Do we want a crazy slave control system, or do you want like true human ingenuity unleashed?
Well, that's why the whole concept of decentralization and everything is like kind of really popular among the youth right now, especially people like kind of our age that are into cryptocurrencies and things like that, right? Having that decentralized version of currency that can't be controlled by an entity per se, because you and I both know the deep state controls everything, right? I mean, they have they control how much our groceries cost, they control how much our interest rates are, so how do we beat that? Like, how do people beat that and get into it?
Well, I mean, there's different levels. If things keep going, then supporting stuff that's decentralized and fixed, something like Bitcoin, is awesome. But if we have a nuclear war and knock ourselves back into the Stone Age, and depending on what level of that, See, you have a level where Bitcoin's working good because it's fighting the system. Then you got a level where it's like, do I have physical type of money to trade? That might be getting into the gold and silver. If you fall level below that, now things like cigarettes and lighters and tampons can start becoming a great currency in food and seeds.
Oh, that's what's going on in Venezuela right now.
And you fall a level below that, that's like people eating each other.
That's kind of what's happening in Venezuela right now. They're like literally trading things as a currency because the value of their own currency is so low. It's been depleted because of inflation. Do you think US dollar will ever get that low?
Yeah, well, I mean, if your society digresses to a certain point, then actually doing electronic transactions and all that stuff easily gets really diminished.
Yeah, to get to a point, it's not even possible, right, at that point, right?
I mean, you can from your phones and stuff, but if you're starving, you're probably not going to be too worried about
exactly, and that's
having a telephone.
And that's kind of it's been the motto for the elite class since the beginning of the time. Is you starve people, you let them suffer, so that they don't have the things to worry about, like the real things, like who's running these policies, freedom. These are the things that people never have to worry about because they're just too worried about making the ends meet, trying to eat.
Well, yeah.
That's been the strategy since the day one, right? I mean, that's kind of how, even some of the big elites control the world.
Well, yeah, that's, I think the Soviet Union used to do that with bread lines. You'd have to wait all day in line for bread, so you didn't have time to go do other stuff.
Exactly. That's crazy, isn't it?
It's like, I'm just trying to keep from starving.
So they can do whatever they want because no one's going to question you because they just don't have time to think about it, let alone going to go investigate it, right? It's crazy. So the times you live in, and you got election year coming up, so there's a lot of chaos with that, There's a lot of different types of back and forth, disinformation, misinformation, whatever you want to say it. And, there's a lot of bad actors out there.
It's better than lying, at least. Back in the day, they only had so many stations that you could get information from, and that was all tightly controlled. So now it's just Wild West. You can't hide information anymore, so you gotta flood information and disinformation to confuse everything, to make people shut off.
Yeah.
Not even want to get into it.
Well, also,
So you got to be able to sort it all out. You got to be able to discern.
People have gotten a little bit. I guess people have gotten a little bit different about what the information they're getting and where they're getting from. So a lot of times you see, like, nowadays, right? At least from my perspective, the people that I talk to, they've gotten a little bit smart about their information. Like, okay, where am I getting the information from? Is it biased? Is it does it gets backed up scientifically? That kind of things. People are starting to question these things. Like, not instead of just kind of believing in these things. And that's one of the bad things about people is people tend to be on party line, and it's like, oh yeah, my dad voted this party, now I'm just going to vote that party, and so on and so forth, right? Because people don't look at policies. People look at affiliation. People look at color. People look at ethnicity. So, yeah, I'm a brown guy, I'll vote for a brown guy. Doesn't matter what his policy is. That's not how it's supposed to be, right? You should, like understand what that person is about before you vote for them.
Well, I mean, that's a good point. And one of the ways you discern what information's right and wrong is based off of your understanding of what you care about.
Correct.
So if you care about freedom, you should understand what that means and how it works and how it best works.
Absolutely.
And
what's the most responsible way?
The more you understand that, then the more when you see information that's against that, it's not right.
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of times when you think about these things, it's kind of customized, right? What works for you may not work for me, but there's a basic set of things that works for everybody in terms of freedom, being able to express yourself, being able to do these things. So there's these things that applies, and then there's things that are more customized. Something that works for you may not work for me, or something that works for me may not work for you. But at the end of the day, what do you care about? That's what it boils down to, right? For me personally, I care about the future of my children. That's a big thing for me because I have offsprings, and I feel like we have to be able to leave this place better than where we're at, before we leave this earth. That's kind of what I believe. It's a little bit of
well,
utopic
you're also
way of
saying why
it.
you care about it.
Absolutely.
You got to have a why, because there's a lot of people that care about frivolous things.
Yeah, you have your why in house, and why would be basically you want them to have a better life. You want them to be able to live in a place that's more habitable, that's more sustainable, instead of just, living in a place where it's just everybody's trying to kill you, you know what I mean? It's a hostile environment. And in a better place overall, people love each other, they have respect for each other, kindness, law and order. I mean, these are the things you inherently want, ever, like, even when you're alive, and let alone, when you pass away for your children's. But that's kind of the society we're in right now, is we're kind of slowly walking away from that stuff. And
we're walking away from it, but it still is way better than it used to be.
In a way, yes. We're a more civilized society now. So, yeah, we may complain.
It could still crumble quick.
Our history as humans, we used to be barbaric, right? We literally, we still fight. I mean, we have
got an
wars
obesity problem in this country.
Oh, that's a huge one. That's a huge one. That's an internal killer right there.
I mean, I don't think that's just gluttony. It's got
a lot of
other factors, but I'm saying
it's organized in a way, and
still having the abundance for that to even happen is pretty crazy.
Like sugar is consumed so much in America. I'm like, when I first came to this country,
I'm more concerned about the corn syrup. Your body can process
the
sugar
fructose
way better than corn syrup.
So I never had like a high fructose corn syrup when I came from the country that I'm from. We have the turbinaros and the sugarcane sugar. That's what we use, which is apparently better. I haven't done the research, but I'm apparently better than the high fructose corn syrup, which we make our sugars from and things like that. So when I first came in and had a bottle of Coke in America, I was like, holy shit, this is super sweet. Like, I did not like the Coca-Cola in America. Matter of fact, I used to drink sodas.
Yeah, those glass bottles from Mexico are way better just with
exactly.
100% sugar.
Exactly.
Cane.
Those are the ones that we drink. And honestly, like, I stopped drinking sodas since I came to the state because I did not like the way they taste in here in America. I do not. I still don't drink sodas till this day because I just don't like the way they taste here. They're oversweet. in some cases a little extra carbonated.
Well,
I
it's
guess.
also your body doesn't process it as well, so the insulin balance gets thrown way off compared to, I mean, too much sugar will screw you up over time too, for sure. But
I know,
those artificial sweeteners, and it's not like you just shake corn and get sweet out of it. It has to be processed as hell to turn it into a syrup.
It's unfortunate, but I was watching this interesting video from JFK. It was a speech by John F. Kennedy. I think I sent you that video, something like that. He was just talking about how health is so important in children and how they need to stay active. They need to be healthy. You know, back in the 50s and 60s, they used to have this health classes. Everybody was fit. I watched some of the old vintage videos from like the early 1900s, and these guys are like fit. There's not a single person that's obese. They're just you know, good shape. And I feel like, what happened to our country? Like, I mean, what happened to America? Like,
well, I mean,
and it's not just America;
corn
it's everywhere.
syrup is one of it, but you got to think they feed things to cows and chickens to fatten them up, and we eat that through them.
Correct, the hormones and all that, and then also the oil, right? Oil is used.
Seed oil is
some
of the worst. A lot of it's corn oil too, and
corn
soybean oil.
It's pretty bad, right?
Soybean oil's got a bunch of estrogen mimickers. It's got it's a genetically modified crop. Most of it growing in the U.S.
And you know, you have
corn.
You have the good stuff, like let's say even like avocado oil, whatnot. Like just better stuff is usually expensive, right? So, and normal people, maybe people that are in a kind of impoverished, they can't afford these things, right? So,
I don't really think it's that expensive. It's.
I don't know the sustain.
They got people used to the dirt cheap food.
That's probably what it is. This might be psychology thing.
It's how much food's supposed to cost. Your money's just more worthless.
And people are more like tend to buy. Okay, I'll buy this if it's a couple dollars cheaper or whatever, right? And then
like when eggs went up 20 years ago, they just lowered the quality of other stuff. I mean,
you know, that's how they do it.
I'm not trying to say that. It's weird. They make the most money off the cheapest foods. So, you know, you get those little $1, $2 pizzas.
Yeah, I heard that.
You know?
I heard that. So I heard candy business, chips business is like really, you know, lucrative.
But in previous down times, people would buy the cheaper food. Then you kind of get hooked on that. And that's...
Oh. I see.
Then when the cheap food starts getting expensive, it's like, whoa, because there's nothing to fall back on. But the good quality ingredients was always cost about that same. Like I said, the dollar just doesn't go as far as it used to.
I think we should promote health more to people, like staying active, staying fit, taking care of your body, eating good. I think these are all things that makes a country strong. Like not even just a society strong. Like if you have a lot of fit people that are conscious about their health, I think it's a healthy thing for society because now they have a healthy brain, they have a healthy thought process. You know, there's good synchrony in society. I feel like you have people that are not conscious about their health and they're just doing whatever they want, putting whatever in their body. I think it's an adverse thing for our society. Just my thought. You know, I don't know if there's scientifically proven, but
I mean, well, yeah, eating healthy and staying fit and getting proper sleep and all that is proven.
Yeah, I mean, it
is really proven. Good for you.
It is proven, yeah. But again,
so it's, you know, how do you let everybody know that? I mean, you know, they have gym class stuff like that. They say it, but you know, you can't really make individuals do it.
Right.
So I don't know.
It's
like building. Maybe it's like building. You got to build a culture of being healthy.
I think part of that has to come in when you're little, because for me at least, when I was growing up, my brothers and my dad did martial arts, my brother did martial arts, so I kind of had the affinity towards it as growing up, and I felt like fitness was an integral part of your life. That was just the way I grew up, but I feel like that left a big impact on me because I'm almost 40 years old and I'm still have the discipline to do these things because that was ingrained in me when I was small, one way or the other. I'm not saying like my dad used to wake me up at 4 a.m. and make us do push-ups, but he used to talk to us about these things and we used to watch him do his. He used to do nunchucks and stuff like that. So kind of ingrained in me. So a lot of it does have to come in when you're a kid. It helps, but that doesn't mean you're completely disconnected. You can still start, and it's never too late. You know, you can be old person and start still and be fit. And
Well, I mean, I think
well,
going back to the food issue, that's a huge part of it. Because, I mean, you can look back during other times, you know, when McDonald's first started, people were still slamming, you know,
know.
freaking burgers and
But I
pies
heard McDonald's
and
used to be
fries
healthier
and
back in the
milkshake.
days.
Well, it was, you know, sugar cane, no high fructose corn syrup.
Right.
They fried their foods in animal fat.
which is a big thing
Which
for
is
us.
what
Which our bodies more
our bodies
adjusted to.
process well, because we're similar. What did I say, raw milk?
Yeah, that
You know,
was
stuff was made with raw milk. Probably had it like delivered there in the morning.
that was an interesting
Some
study that
glass
came out of India
bottles,
that I was telling you
Glass
about.
bottles without the plastic.
So India,
know?
they cook even in Nepal where I'm from, they cook used to cook with clarified butter. They call it ghee. And then when the corn oil and stuff got introduced, people started getting these diabetes and all different kind of problems. That's the kind of a trend apparently. Like I was watching this documentary about it, and it was saying that before they ate ghee, clarified butter, they didn't have these issues, not a whole lot. And then when they start eating, frying things in the corn oil and stuff, they really saw rapid increase of these issues like heart disease, diabetes, cholesterol.
Frying in general isn't as healthy as baking,
Absolutely, yeah. And
no
that
matter what you do it in. So there's definitely healthier oils, but I think there were studies showing. I think they were correlating that people lived longer in the north than in the south, and they were attributing that to the south fries a lot more than the north.
Interesting.
But
South does like to fry. Hey, it's pretty good, man. Every once in a while, okay, some southern fried chicken, or
well, yeah, and
they had fried
It
tomatoes.
can just be
pretty good,
coincidental
you know.
too, but
Yeah.
oh my God, Southern food is amazing.
Southern food is amazing, but you just gotta burn it off. That's what you do, right? I mean, you eat and then you go work out and just burn it off, and
Well, it's
you're
all
just fine.
that, you know. You gotta be healthy in body, spirit, and mind to really be healthy.
Hell yeah.
You could be fit all day and be like horribly depressed.
Well,
You know what I mean?
yes or no. So with that, I have the counter argument.
It'd be harder to stay fit if you're horribly depressed. Let me put it that
Yeah,
way.
your physical well-being complements your mental well-being. So if you're a really fit person and that has the discipline and doing good with the fitness, chances are you're a lot less depressed. You may still have some sadness, whatever your mental state is, but it's a big medicine, big remedy for depression.
I think healthier people get through stuff quicker.
Absolutely.
You know, emotions should come and go. They're not negative in that sense if you're just experiencing them,
Yeah.
but when you can't let it go for whatever reason, that's when it becomes dangerous,
Yeah, that's absolutely.
health-wise.
And that's when you got to know where the point is, where the breaking point is. You got to turn around, turn your life around. And that's just discipline. It's just hard to maintain.
Well, figure it out. Some people it's anger, some people it's, a real hard one to deal with is stubbornness, because you might be too stubborn to admit that you got an issue.
Exactly, and that's a huge problem. People have ego and they just have a lot of stubbornness, and people don't like to admit to be wrong, or to be, I guess, not able and things like that. So it's absolutely a big thing for people to break that barrier.
Well, I mean, you can hold on to joy, and it can become detrimental to your health. A lot of those people that seem happy all the time, all giggly and stuff, they usually have panic attacks.
A lot of times, and also people, it's just a mental state. It's so important that the emotional, mental, physical
everything is
well-being.
wonderful all the time.
Oh, those people are the
Like,
most
it's
depressed
like-
people when they're by themselves. I've seen some of those people that are super jolly in front of people, and then they're like super depressed. Like, I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, or terrified or something.
Yeah, or
It's like-
super socially awkward or something. And not like in that sense, but in some aspects. But yeah, it's interesting. But yeah, we got crazy air traffic, so we're losing the lights. Good catching up with you, brother. We gotta have more episodes
So,
come out in this
backyard
podcast.
conversation
A
and
little chilling
Middle
backyard
of Maryland.
conversation. Yeah, man, we gotta get it in. Maryland is a beautiful place in the summer. Gotta get some more podcasts in soon. Ciao.